Jim Fitzpatrick here on a Labour doorstep. When you're doing these, I'd say over the last 6 months, what are the issues that you're hearing?
Well, for many people, the NHS is a really big issue. The economy and the cost of living and the standard of living, because of the way that wages are being held down and inflation is putting everything up. Rail fares is an issue, and the quality of commuter services is clearly an issue here in this part of the world, more so than in my own district in Poplar in inner London. But the issues which affect people here in Harlow are pretty much the same as affect people everywhere else in the country.
So you mentioned rail fares. I mean, that is really, I guess, for here in Harlow and our sister paper in Thurrock, you know, it's really those increases and another increase in January. It's really good. Do you think people will? But do you think it's a bigger issue enough for people to actually change their vote?
I think it's a very significant issue, but not for everybody, obviously only for commuters. But there are a sizable chunk of residents in every community. We tried to peg rail fares at 1% above inflation, and what the train operating companies did to get round that was that for the high level of commuter trains, they were above the 1% cap. We've now promised that if we're elected next year, we will cap rail fares. The Conservatives are clearly saying that's not going to be the case, and people are now paying thousands of pounds just to get to work before they even earned their first pound. So it's a big issue for people, and the economy and jobs is a big issue, but the impact of the National Health Service changes is starting to become a much bigger issue, and I think we're seeing that rise as well.
Two candidates, for example, like Susie Stride here, who's trying to bite into a 5,000 majority in the weather vane. Do you have any specific advice for candidates?
There's no advice you can give any candidate other than to work hard to meet as many people as possible. People out there have got bags of common sense. They know that the differences between the two major parties are clearly there, but they're nowhere near the way they used to be 20, 30 years ago. So they're interested in personalities, they're interested in the individual candidate, and Susie's got such a great, enthusiastic, bubbling personality, bags of energy. She can't fail to impress people when she meets them on the doorstep. So it's a matter about us, people like me and others, coming to support her, taking as much pressure off as we can and getting around as many residents' doorsteps as possible.